Yo, check this out. Look at this video. Yeah, this is women in St. Thomas. Well, men and women in St. Thomas almost 100 years ago. They're carrying coal, 100 pounds on top of their head. They used to wear a rag, something called like the kata to help them. Anyways, you don't know. I will check this out. Anyway, so to understand everything, you don't know, we gotta go back a little bit, right? Now, to understand the concept, think of St. Thomas like the harbor, like a big refueling gas station for steamships. So instead of gas, they were using coal. Irie, we have that mindset. Good. Now, we're going to go back a little bit to 1823 or 1830. Differentiates. Some said that 1823 was the first time. Some said that 1830s was the first time a steamship arrived to St. Thomas. I don't really know. I'm not for that. If y'all know, comment below. But I'm going to talk about specifically the British chartered Royal Mail Steam Packet Company. They officially made St. Thomas its main West Indies coaling hub in 18, but they were here prior to that. Why is this important? Why I bring these people up? Well, again, this is from Britain, right? And Britain had abolished slavery in 1833. So these smart men that are crawl my blood decided, you know what's another place that still have slavery going on? The Danish West Indies. And that's exactly what they did, man. They came over here and they supposedly set up a coaling depot initially on Hassel Island. That's what happened. Now, apparently the word got out to other big companies, and German giant HPAG, West Indian Coal Depot Company, the East Asiatic Company, and local powerhouses like Bronsted and Company, who Bronsted was born in St. Thomas. He was from Danish descent. But his company actually helped fuel the Spanish-American War. Yeah, he helped fuel, well, he helped give coal to the American warships, which is crazy. Anyways, we'll fast forward. Now, slavery is abolished in 1848, right? But the work is still hard. Yeah, we're talking hard physical labor. These women balancing over 100-pound wicker baskets on their head using a padded cloth that was called a kata. Now, they work hand in hand with male dock workers and everything else to make this thing come true. One thing that I can say is that while cutting sugar cane, allegedly those people made around 20 cents a day around there, roughly more, roughly less. I'm not too sure. But it is said that carrying coal, you could have make up to $1 a day, which is like 5x your return, right? So he's like, whew. I don't call it like working Hovensa, like, you know, back in them days when I like chemicals and all of that there, or just working a regular 9 to 5. You gonna make a lot of money, but there's a lot of risk involved. Something like that, right? I mean, we have a lot more freedom to choose than back then. I'm not trying to physically compare, guys. Relax. But anyways, in August of 1892, everything changed. Why? They were getting paid in something called the Mexican silver peso. And this currency was used globally. The Mexican silver peso was said to be like so pure and very trusted. But at this time in 1892, that collapsed 40%. Yeah. So stores, they stopped taking that. So if I wanted to buy a piece of bread from my hard working coaling days, and I finally get paid and I want to go buy some egg and some bread, the man telling me no. They ain't taking my money. A month passed of this and the workers get tired. The man walk off the docks and they refuse to carry a single basket unless they get paid in a stable Danish silver. Monday, September 12th, it got crazy. Hundreds of strikers. Yeah, it went intense. They marched down to Charlotte Amalie Harbor and things went a little crazy. The crowd clashed with the police in what is called General Gate. Now, here is where I'm making my own thing up from, like, I just added 1 + 1 together. Because Queen Keziah appears. The name Queen Keziah appears. But the name Queen Keziah appears off of a local author in 1938 called Antonio Jarvis. And some people have said that this Queen Keziah is fake, like she doesn't exist. It's a theatrical stage name in a history book. And that the real life hero is Clothilde Simonette. Now that is true that Clothilde Simonette is documented in the Danish National Archives. But what I think, just real quick, y'all bear with me quick, and let me know if y'all think this as well. I know me as Jaco La Pauta. I don't know my real name. My whole peers, everybody knows me as Jaco La Pauta. But like how Queen Kozaya, who led this march on Monday, September 12th, where she carried a massive Danish flag and it collided with police and she got arrested by the chief himself. When you get arrested and you go down, they ain't gonna write Queen Kozaya. In my case, if I get arrested, they ain't gonna write Jaco La Pauta. They're gonna write what they really know me as. And I ain't telling you. But probably she wasn't even Queen Kozaya. Probably after that big protest that she held and led, she got the name Queen Kozaya. Probably she was just Kozaya. But anyways, I just wanted to brainstorm that real quick to see what y'all think. But the point is, by Monday afternoon, after all of that happened, the companies completely folded. Yeah, they agreed to pay their workers dollar for dollar in Danish silver. Now, the mining coaling era, they eventually ended in the mid-1930s. But in 2005, the local cultural advocates revived the annual dollar for dollar street commemoration. And I hope they continue to do this every year, even if it's small or big, because this is big. Y'all commemorating Clothild, Simonette, and many other coal carrier workers who worked that same harbor way before we were even thinking of coming to these islands. Hey, that's all I got for you, eh? I'll be safe and catch you on the next one.